Okay, I don't know if anybody's ever showed this before, but we're going to show how, and everybody always heard of auto strop. I don't think it was just, there's a lever back here that when it's pushed down like that, brings the safety bar up into contact with the blade. You push this up and it releases the blade like that. Now you push this through, hang on to it, pull it tight, pull the strap tight, and can you, I'll do it in camera. See, now watch when I pull it back, the gears switch it back for stropping, and you just auto strop, just like that. Alright, now on to the shave. Hello everyone, welcome back to Shaving with Peg Leg. Let me get some adjustment a little better here. How's everybody doing tonight? Appreciate you being here. Yeah, I see my face better. It takes up the whole screen, right? Uh-oh. Excuse me. Oh, jeez. Help me look for my eyeballs. Whoa. Alright. Wow. Sorry. Soap tonight. V&E Maine made Cedar Leather, of course. Fantastic scent. That's the buck. The razor, as you saw in the preview, Valet Auto Strop. This is one that Dave in Kentucky sent me. It already had a blade in it, and the blade was still kind of sharp. The blade has been cleaned and sterilized, and cleaned and sterilized again. And you just saw me re-strop it, and I did it about 50 times total. So we'll see if that's sharp enough still to shave with. If not, we will move on to something else after a pause. The soap dish is my Linkidea soap bowl, the new one I got. I do like the texture on the inside of this one. And it's sitting on my coffee cup warmer, getting warm. It's been there since I went in the shower. So it is kind of warm on the bottom. And my brush is 22 millimeter Omega Boar that I recently showed you that I splayed the tips out and made it softer. And we're going to load it off the puck. You're saying, well, what the hell's he got the bowl for? He's loading it off the puck. Well, instead of lathering on the face, see, my problem is I usually don't load it off the puck enough. I'm getting a lot of lather built up already. So what we're going to do is we're going to take it to the bowl and lather it in the bowl to see if we can get enough suds going. Add a little water. Okay. This brush has been soaking for at least a half an hour. And it just ate every bit of water and lather that was in that bowl. So we'll go back to the puck. We will load it up again. Go back to the bowl. Add a little water again. Hotter than hell in here, guys. We've been in the 80s the last couple of days. Alright, I got some lather in there, but I'm going to go back to the puck again. And as soon as I put the brush in the puck, it fills, look, it filled that with soap. So that was taking the soap out of the brush and applying it there. So I should have it for my face too. You know, I have a pan of water right here, and it's clean. I haven't used it yet, so I'm just dipping the tips of the brush in there. See, this is what we're getting now. Another dip. See that? Nice. Nice leather. Look at that. And the brush is full, completely full of soap now. So we shouldn't need any more off the puck, but it's right there in case we do. We don't need that right now. All right. Today, I'm gonna leave my glasses on, try and shave with the glasses on. Yeah, it's hotter than hell in here because I just got out of the shower, so. You see this brush taking it right back off? Unbelievable. I just squeezed the brush into the bowl. You don't believe how much water came out. It's like it ate the soap and it turned it to water. Alright, so we're going to spend 10 minutes just trying to get a lather. Because the brush is not cooperating. This soap is super slick, and you need more slickness than you do anything, so we're good as far as that goes. Look at the mess I'm making here. That's how much water is still in this brush. But we're good. We got lather. We definitely have slickness. Oh yeah, plenty slickness. All right, let's see if this razor will cut. Anything but me. it's not helping that the fan is blowing right on my face. Doing good so far. Wow. I think the fan's hurting me more than anything right now, but I have to have it on. It's so freaking hot in here. Try and turn it more that way. Hum-de-dum-de-dum-de-dum-de-dum-de-dum-de-dum-de-dum-de-dum-de-dum. Green Ray. Stick it in the water for a little bit. I'm going to see if a synthetic will help. Alright, while we're waiting for that to warm up a little bit, soak up a little bit of water. Jeanne d'Arc, or in English known as Joan of Arc. We all know about her. We all know basically what she did, but do you know why she died? We know she was killed, but do you know why? She was born around 1412. She was born the daughter of a tenant farmer in Domremy in northeastern France. She was not taught to read or write, but her pious mother taught her, her pious mother Isabel, taught her and instilled into her a deep love for the Catholic Church and its teachings. Even though she couldn't read or write. At the age of 13, Joan began to hear voices, which she determined had been sent by God. All right, synthetic brush much better. Look at that. Okay. So, synthetic brush from now on. All right, across the grain. Now on across the grain, do you guys like going like I do, ear to mouth, or do you go from mouth to ear? If you do across the grain. All right. She had started hearing voices at the age of 13. She determined they were from God. And they were giving her a mission of overwhelming importance. This was during the 100 Years' War of France and England. And the English were winning. They dominated most of France. They'd already passed rulings that said that Charles was not a rightful heir to the throne. and that the English king was the king of England and France. So, her mission, as she took it from these voices, from God, was a mission to put Charles on the throne of France and to expel the English from France. So she, as part of her divine mission, she took a vow of chastity, and at age of 16, after her father tried to arrange a marriage for her, she petitioned a court, local court, to say that she did not have to accept this match. And the court sided in her favor, saying that she did not have to accept it. So she remained an unwed virgin for her mission. In May of 1428, Joan made her way to Vaucouleurs. It's French. I don't do English well. Get over it. And it was a nearby stronghold loyal to Charles. Initially rejected by the local magistrate, Robert de Baudricourt. These people come up with these names. She persisted, though, and attracted a small band of followers who believed her claims to be the virgin who, according to local lore and popular prophecy, was the virgin who was destined to save France. And they believed that she was the one. So she finally convinced them to let her have an audience with Charles. So when she finally got word that she could have an audience with Charles, she cropped her hair, dressed in men's clothes to make the 11-day journey across enemy territory into Chinon, the site of Charles's palace. Joan promised Charles she would see him crowned in Reims, the traditional site where French kings were crowned, and asked him to give her an army to lead to Orleans, which was under siege from the English, that she would break the siege. In a private audience at the castle in Chinon, Joan of Arc won the future of Charles VII over, supposedly revealing information to him that only someone that was a messenger of God would know, that nobody else would know what she was telling him. Only a messenger of God. You know, kind of like the Blues Brothers. We're on a mission from God. And against the advice of his own counselors and generals, Charles gave her the army, and she marched on a white horse wearing white armor to Orleans to lift the siege of the British. It was the Anglo-Burgundians. The province of Burgundy in France was ruled by a Frenchman who was loyal to the English. And they were the ones laying siege to Orleans. And she led multiple charges against that army to break them up and chase them from Orleans and across the Loire River and made them retreat. She had then her and her followers escorted Charles to Reims, which was still in enemy territory, And they conquered several towns along the way and fought their way to Reims, got him there, and got him crowned as King of France in 1429. Now, she argued at that time that they should press their advantage, that they had the English rolling back because of her several victories over them. And, you know, everybody fought against her because here's this young girl telling all these military men, let's go, let's fight. And they're like, no, we better hold back, we better wait. But she wanted to retake Paris, which was being held by the English. So she finally got permission to lead an attack on Paris. And she did so. And was soundly defeated. Don't think I wrote down what her other defeat was. She had two major defeats. Paris was one, and there was another one. And then support for her in the court of King Charles started to wane a little bit because she's supposed to be this deliverer of France, and she's had these two major defeats, even though she did lift the siege of Orleans and got the king. We're going to do a fourth pass. And got the king crowned in Reims, which nobody else had been able to do. This is good scent, guys. This is a nice cedar leather scent. Very, very, very nice. Okay. Okay. In the spring of 1430, the king ordered Joan to confront the Burgundies again, assault on Champagne. In her effort to defend the town, she got unhorsed and couldn't remount her horse, and she was taken captive. Now, when the Burgundians took her captive, they marched her right to the English in a nearby fort and turned her over to the English. Now, King Charles VII, who she got him crowned, would not negotiate for her release because pressure from his counselors and military advisors were telling him that she was becoming too powerful and he wouldn't be able to control her. So, politics. They convinced him not to negotiate for her release, to let the English have her. They turned the military turned her over to the bishops, the English bishops, to be tried by a church tribunal. Because they brought 70 charges against her. Everything from heresy to dressing as a man, which was forbidden. Got 70 charges. In the trial, the judges, there was two. They were local bishops of France that were pro-English. So there was no way she was getting a fair trial. She was harassed and interrogated for days on end to sign a confession. They were saying that she was listening to demonic voices, that the voices she heard were not from angels, they were from demons, for being a false prophet, to being a heretic, everything they were charging her with. They were trying to get her to plead guilty to all these things. And they finally broke her down, and she finally confessed that what they said was true, and she signed an agreement that everything they're saying was true about her, and that she would no longer dress as a man. No longer dress as a man. But they threw her back into prison. While she was in prison, there's debate on how this transpired. It's a good shave, but it's not BDS. It's a damn fine shave, though. But it's just, I probably need to strop the blade a little more. And I got a little bit of this left. Put this out. Now I know I didn't do my beard and mustache, but the damn boar brush kept eating all the soap. I had to switch to, once I switched to the synthetic, this is what I got. It's great lather, but I just have to use the synthetic from now on with that soap. So she was put back in prison, but what they did so that nobody would become too friendly with her and start listening to her and maybe conspiring with her, they changed it. There was different guards every shift that watched her. And she got one guard to bring her men's clothes to change into, because supposedly one of the guards tried to rape her before she got attention of another guard to come in and stop it. So she wanted men's clothes supposedly, so that, because she had her hair short and everything, she dressed like a man, and they went, and like I said, they were changing guards out all the time, so they wouldn't rape her because it'd be different guards every time, and they wouldn't see her as a woman, they would see her as a man. So when the bishops came back to see her another time to get more answers from her, they walked in, and guess what she was wearing? Men's clothes that she said she would never do again. So they commuted her sentence, or overturned it, and sentenced her to death. Oh, they charged her with witchcraft too and everything. They were charging her with everything, and King Charles wouldn't help her because besides the pressure inside of his own court not to, he didn't want to be associated with a witch or a heretic, because that would be bad business back then. But the church back in those days had unimaginable power over kings and countries. The people were so God-fearing over peasants, town leaders, kings. They had power. The will of God, everything was about God back then. And the church was making money hand over fist, more so than the government was with their taxes. And they didn't want to lose that power and that money, like any organization. So anyways, they came in, they see Joan wearing clothes, men's clothes. They say, oh, you reneged on your promise not to do it. Your sentence is overturned. You're going to die. My broken piece of Gentleman John Allen Block. You're going to die. So, a few days later, alright, I'm looking for the guy's name if it's there. On the morning of May 30th, 1431, at the age of 19, Joan was taken to the old marketplace of Rouen and burned at the stake. She was burned at the stake because since she put men's clothes on again, all of her previous charges went into effect again, and she was considered a witch. And what did you do with witches? You burned them at the stake. So, Joan gets burned at the stake. Dead. For basically wearing men's clothes. Wrap your head around that one. 20 years later, a new trial ordered by Charles VII, who she got put on the throne, cleared her name. The bishops of France held a trial and cleared her name, saying that much of the evidence against her was fabricated and that the English judges lied. Long before, then Pope Benedict XV canonized her in 1920, and she became the Saint of France. In 1909, Joan of Arc was beautified in the famous Notre Dame Cathedral in Paris by Pope Pius X. A statue in the cathedral of Joan d'Arc who eventually became the patron saint of France, pays tribute to her legacy. So, even though the English scum lied about her, no offense, but let me tell you what, the French scum would have lied about her too, because back then, if you've ever read anything about the church in the Middle Ages, they were horrible. They were crooks, they were thieves, they were politicians. They weren't clergy, they were politicians. They did everything for money and power. There's a few books out there about the church in the Middle Ages. You should read a few pages from one of them. They're just absolutely horrible, horrible people. I've got the aftershave. It's kind of milky. We're going to give it a shake. Oh, that's good. That is good. Nivia Men Max Hydration. Oh, I'm way over, guys. I'm going to 32 minutes. All right. Let's not forget the affiliate link. If you're buying from the Razor Company, please use it. Yes, I get a kickback, but when that account hits $25, I get a gift card to the Razor Company, $25, and give it all back to you guys. And don't forget the 4 channels I'll put in the description box. Check them out. Give them a like and a subscribe. Let's help build their numbers. I appreciate you all being here. Poor Joan. She was definitely screwed over. And by her friend, Charles VII, too, because he didn't try to negotiate her release. All right, guys, I appreciate it. And by the church of the Middle Ages. Anyways, guys, it's good stuff to check out. It's very, very interesting. Y'all take care. Appreciate you all being here. So, enough of babbling fat guy in the camera. You're in the chair next. Happy shaves out there.